Good morning, everyone. How's everyone doing? Or I should say good afternoon, as for some people. And I noticed that Eric said, God eftermiddag from Denmark. So, did I say that right, Eric? God eftermiddag from Denmark. Good morning and good afternoon, wherever you're from. Hello, I'm Casey, and we're going to continuing on with the Trading to $1 Million Challenge today. Today's going to be a little bit slower. Okay, Charles, you got to stick on board with us because we're going to help you out. Everybody in here is going to help Charles out. So make sure you guys hit the like button to give Charles some encouragement. So I'm going to actually talk about what Charles is talking about, losing a lot, because, you know, we're going for the $1 Million Challenge, but one of the key focuses on this whole thing is going to be risk. And we addressed that a little bit on Friday in the last session where we talked about, you know, trading at your comfort level, what is good number for you. And so I'm going to make an adjustment today on some things based off of that. Hey fra Nord. Okay, SG, thank you. Yvonne, thank you. So Charles, just stick around. Don't worry. You're going to do great. Just don't give up. Right, and make some adjustments to your size, because I'll just tell you, I don't know you, I don't know anything a lot, but I would assume that you know, if the size is enough to really make you sad, then you're probably trading too large of size. Okay, so Wazani, yes it is, $10 is pretty tiny, but we could probably do it. So if you can get $10 into a trading account, then go for it. I don't know if we'll be able to do it that small, but we'll be close. Okay. But we just got to take baby steps. We're going to take baby steps. All right. That's right. Okay, so let's go ahead and let me pull up some stuff. And by the way, it's another beautiful snowy day in Jackson Hole, Wyoming. One of these days, I am going to visit. One of these days, I'm going to visit Jackson Hole, Wyoming. Okay, so I'm going to pull up our spreadsheet. And today the market is closed, so it might be, you know, we can't do any trading today, but I can at least update some of the trades Actually, I'm not going to do a lot of that just because, you know, you guys can go back to some of the older videos and watch those if you want an update. So I'm just going to bring up the chart just to show where we're at. And so we're right here right now. And you guys can follow along right here. So this is where we're at. Things are going pretty good so far. A little slow, but we're gonna pick things up. So let's pull up here. I got the chart up. There we go. Okay, so the chart is up right here. You guys can actually access this as well if you want. I'll post the link in the chat right here. Here's the link. The key is to start. That's right. Trade small. That's right, Moses. Moses, I remember Moses because he had a really nice comment last week about he's got a $10,000 account and he's making like 50 or something a day. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to make an adjustment here on the Forex side. You know, I'm going to keep the stocks similar for now, but what we're going to do is we're going to keep the Forex small. We're going to go for $100 a day, right? If we can we're going to do a challenge. So we're going to do a $100 a day challenge. If we can do 100 a day for 5 days in a row, well, that's pretty good. And $100 a day is relative. So if you have a very small account, well, maybe you want to do $10 a day. If you have a larger account, you might want to do 200 a day. It's relative to what is comfortable for you. The thing is, you don't want to be sweating. You don't want to be sad. You don't want to be running through emotions. So the best way to keep your emotions under control is to have a trade size that you can actually handle. So again, come to Daytona. Okay, Daytona, where's Daytona at? Is that in Indianapolis or something? Okay, yeah, challenges are good. Hit that like button if you guys want to see a 5-day challenge of $100 a day. And if we can do that, then we can do something else. You know, we can maybe go from 100 a day to $105 a day. You know, just consistency is the key. And right now, I've been focusing a little bit on Forex, and I know that we do have a couple options traders in here, especially Jonathan. So I wanted to see if Jonathan is interested in me teaching an options day trading strategy, where you actually get in and out of the trade in one day on just options. And you can use it on Forex, but I had one of my options mentors trained me on this strategy, and I thought, you know what, I've got this really good option strategy that one of my mentors has trained me on. I thought it might be good for some people here to be able to see that. So if you guys want to see that, let me know, hit that like button, and we'll get that going very soon as well. There we go. So we'll pull this up here. Just get the disclaimer out of the way. We're not risk. Risk is what I'm trying to think about. Risk is, trading's risky. This is all educational purposes only. Don't trade what you can't afford to lose. I can't give you a magic bullet. I can't tell you, that you're going to make $1 million. I can't tell that. I'm trying to make $1 million. That's my goal, but I'm not promising you anything. Trading is risky. This is all for educational purposes only. Okay, so Yugoslav did $1,000 a day, and his first demo then live. Good. Okay, so we got one person. One person said do the options trading, and we have Yugoslav. That's good. All right, from Laverne, Alabama. Excellent. Okay, so we're going to now jump into some of the charts and some of the trades we were looking at, because the regular trading is closed today. So we're going to open up my trading platform here, and we're going to pull it up. and we're going to show you guys some stuff. So remember, trading is risky and all that good stuff. I drew in some levels here on the euro. Let's do the daily time frame first, and then I'm going to go. If you guys remember, I did have an Australian trade on. Let's see how that's working out for us. Where's Australian USD? I had Australia. There it is. So we have the Australian trade. That's actually pretty close to the target. I had a pending order as well, but it doesn't look like that triggered, unfortunately. So I put a pending order right down here, and it didn't trigger. Let's see where we're at. It did not. So I'm going to close that. I do have a pound New Zealand trade open too. I forgot about that. Did I take that last Friday? Yeah. Oh, look at that. Pound New Zealand. So pound New Zealand is looking good. Let me give you a refresher why I wanted to do this trade. It's because it broke this level, and I'm like, let's do this. And then yesterday, Friday, it started to drop. So I got in and it started to drop. So what I did is I added some orders down here, and I closed them already. So I added one here, and then I added one down here. So I had a total of 2 winning trades on the pound New Zealand. Plus I have this one that's open right now. I like this trade. For those of you guys that have been with me on the beginning, I got in on this one a long time ago, and now the MACD is starting to get momentum. You can see this. It was down a little bit, and now yesterday was the longest momentum. So I think we're going to push right into that target, and I have a $500 target. Now, when we talk about the $100 a day, right now I'm already at 575. So that is kind of making the challenge kind of weak because I already hit that. But listen, okay, because someone was saying, well, how much do I need? What kind of account size? Well, we want to make it adjustable based off of what your account is. So with that being said, let's think about a significant size on your account that would be a challenge, but yet would make you feel comfortable. And again, you have to tell me the number, like what is good for you. And I don't know if Moses was here for that when I talked about it, but I said, Moses, what level, how much money would you want to risk? Like, what's the biggest amount of trade that you could like handle, like in your mind? Like, yeah, I could handle a $50 loss. I could handle a $100 loss. I could handle $1,000 loss. Like, what level is going to make you not sad? You know, Charles said that he was sad, right? We don't want to be sad, right? And we also don't want to be overly excited either. One of my trading coaches came up with this tool that he created. It's called the emotional index, right? Just like we have stock indexes, and he's got, extreme euphoria all the way down to at the bottom, which is depression, right? And he created a graph on it. I might pull it out in the next session because it's just so valid for what we're talking about. We got to get our emotions under control. And so the best way to do that is to decide how much would you be willing to risk. So if I'm going to do $100 a day as my challenge, what am I going to be risking in that amount of time? What's the max amount that I'd be willing to risk? Because right now I have this big pound New Zealand stop loss right here. It's risking $1,000. What am I risking on the Australian USD? I'm risking, what am I risking? It's a lot. It's 4,000. I'm not going to risk 4,000. So I'm up 400 right now, and the market is moving lower here. And so what do I want to do with this? Do I want to keep this where it's at? So I'm going to already tighten up this risk because I can't handle a $4,000 loss. No way. So I'm going to tighten this up. Okay, so now I can't lose money on this trade. So that's another thing that we want to look at is how to manage our funds so that we're not losing money, right? So once you get a trade in profit, you want to lock it in pretty quick. This pound New Zealand, I'm going to leave this open. I'm not going to tighten it because it's not really a place where we can tighten yet. But I'm using this trend line right now as my stop loss. So I have a bigger stop loss, but in reality, this trend line is my stop. So in reality, my stop is probably down here. And why do I say that? Well, because I'm willing to hold it, and if it gets down here, I'm okay. So my risk is $1,000 on this trade, but really my risk is only down here, which, let's drag the stop loss. That's only about 500, right? So the reason I keep my stop loss down there is I don't want the spread to hit me out, which happened on the first day, if you guys remember that. Okay, so Jonathan, I didn't see you comment on the option strategy. Do you have a good option strategy, or would you be interested in learning that one as well? The options day trading strategy that I was thinking about trading. And I know we like the daily. I like the daily. It keeps it simple. But again, I like also to do this day trading stuff just to really do some in-depth training. But I love trading on the dailies because, as you can see, it's very safe and comfortable. The day trading is a little more stressful. So right now, let's just do a couple analysis pairs, and then we can go over what's going to be good for those of you guys that trade stocks. You know what's awesome about the stock market is we can now do a full-on update for stocks that we're looking at, right? So it's going to be really good for us because we're going to have some good analysis. We'll be ready to take on the market for Tuesday when it opens. So that's going to be exciting. Yeah. So yeah, this tool right here that I use is called Epic, and that does manage the stop for me, but I still adjust it, right? I still adjust it. It sets the initial stop. All I do is click levels, and it sets the stop. See where it put it, right? But once the trade is open, then I manage it. And you can have Epic manage the trade as well, but I like to do it manually. Okay, so let's take a look at the Australian yen. And do you guys remember when I got long right here? Look at that trade. Wow, I nailed that bad boy. But you know, it's so funny because I actually lost it. I picked a winning trade, but I lost the trade because of risk management. My account was too leveraged. And so again, you can be right, but you can be wrong. My trade was up, but I ended up losing the trade because another trade that I had open took out my trade. So Robin, I'm so glad you like the tool. We actually have some updates that we're planning on doing on it too. So if you guys ever need any updates on the tools, or you think there's something we could do, let us know. I know Robin had some suggestions he sent to me. I send that on to the developers as well. So Aussie yen, he says it's looking like a reversal. Well, let's take a look. I like to draw levels. And so right here is a level. Look at that. Boom, we're right at a level right now. Okay, so should we try to trade a reversal? Well, let's look at it. We've got, it's peaked out and it's starting to go smaller. One thing I like to look at on a reversal, guys, is I personally like to trade with the trend. Like Jonathan said, he said, don't short a bull market. But at the same time, when you're overextended, you can get away with it if you manage your risk and you know what you're doing. So here's what I like to say. When we have a big move like this, we're up against this target. You see we have 82. It's overextended. We have, let's pull up. I have a new tool, not a new tool. I have an old tool that I'm going to bring out here very soon because we're doing a massive update on it. Like we've gone through, my developers and I, and we're just really making it better. It's called the EFC, and it's a reversal tool. And I'm not going to bring it out today because it's not quite ready yet. But Dave, which one doesn't work? That's not acceptable. If you have one of our tools and it's not working, we need to hear about that. Okay, right away. So We even have live chat, Dave, inside the members area. And so you just go in there and ask them, and they'll help you get that set up. We cannot, we can't, there's no way we can let that go by. Okay. So anyhow, here we have it, but let me show you how this strategy actually works here. So we go up to RSI, and I have a special tool on this, but I'm going to teach you how to do this right now. And we're updating it, and it's really a nice tool. But you pull up the RSI, okay, and what you look for is the thing called divergence, okay? And so how do you identify divergence? Well, you see how right here, the RSI is at 75, okay? And where's the price? It's right here, okay? It's right here. So when the price hits a new high, which has happened, and then the RSI does not hit a new high, which has happened because the price is going higher here, the RSI is not. And so let me draw a line so we can actually see it. There's the price. Okay, you see the RSI is lower. And how do I know it's lower? Well, let's draw it. There it is. Look, it's not as high, and yet look how much higher the price is. That is called divergence. Okay, divergence. Okay, well, Dave, yeah, send a lot of emails, and also, Dave, go right into the live chat. They will help you. Okay. They will do whatever it takes to get you working. All right. So anyhow, we've got this now divergence. So what does that mean though? Well, I'm not going to take a reversal setup just because there's divergence. I need something else. Okay. There's more than I need than just that. What I actually need, okay, what I actually need is price action. Okay. Price action. And so right now, what's happened on this chart? Well, there's an uptrend. Right? This is all I see is straight up. So why would I short until something changes? And what would I need to change? Well, I need one of these shelves to go. So we just draw a level right here, okay? And we then wait for, so there's two ways to do this, right? There's two ways. There's two ways. Way number one is to wait for the level to break, okay? So we have right here, we have a nice level right here, okay? If this level breaks, well, then we have an opportunity to go short on the reversal. Well, how far do we think it can go? Well, that's something we have to determine. We have to determine the level that we think that it's going to go to. So what you do for that is you just watch it and you look at your hourly time frame and you say, okay, well, I think it could get right here. Okay, right there. So then you put your target down here. So break from here down there. Another way to do it is just to draw fibs. So you go and you say, okay, the swing high to the swing low, you identify where the swing low is. There's a couple different ways to do that. This one is the swing low. You draw that on there. And look at that. The actual first level is the exact same first level that we drew, right? So again, that's a double confirmation. When you get a double confirmation, that helps. You don't have to use the fibs, but I like to use them for targets. And so I also like to use levels. So if we get a breakout here, if price breaks down, so we got a pause bar. This candle is called a pause bar. We're up against resistance. We have divergence. Can we take a short here? Well, I'm going to wait. I'm going to wait for this level to fail. So what level am I going to be waiting for? Well, I've got a level right here. And by the way, this all works for stocks as well. Okay. It all works for stocks too. Oh, no, Dave, that's good. I want to hear this. Like, I've been working, Dave, listen, Dave, I have been working with my support guys, and I'm not saying anything. They are really motivated, but I've been working and working and working and working to bring up that level of support. And so, you know what, if you guys don't hear anything, come to me. That's definitely not what I like to be having to deal with, but I've got to have that happen. So if they're not doing what they need to do, you got to come to me. And so I'm going to send some of this stuff over right now. I'm taking a note of this. So I appreciate it, Dave, so much. That's just not good. I'm going to post this over right now. So I'm taking an image of this and I'm posting it. I really thank you so much for, I realize that not everybody's a tech wizard either. I get it. Some of these things are, we're trying to make it more simple, but some of the tools are simple, but you're dealing with MT4, which has a little bit of complexity. Okay, so Moses says 78.60. I think that's where he wants to target. That's a pretty long-term target. We've got this support level right here. And so that would definitely be something that we would be watching as well, which is 80.73. Okay, all right. So anyways, I'm not going to be taking this one yet. I'm waiting for it. Another way that we could do this, though, is if you have your levels drawn, so let's draw our levels, is you short it right on the spike. Okay, and now that can be a great way to take a reversal. So we got a daily time frame. I'm going to delete all of the lines. Okay, we're going to delete all, and I'm also going to go over the Australia, New Zealand as well. We delete all of the lines, and we're like, okay, where's this thing got some resistance? So we know the current price is resistance, right, at 82. We got a level here and a level here. So once you identify your level, you've also got one here, and you've got one here. Once you identify it, well, then you can now know that there's an opportunity for a reversal. And when you're in an uptrend, okay, when you're in a really big uptrend, reversals can be dangerous, right? Reversals could bust right through that. But what you will find is that almost always the probability is very high that you do get some kind of pullback on a reversal. Very high. Even if it's not a big pullback, it can be a small one. So if you, like for example, we have this level right here, okay? It popped right into it, and then what happened? Well, it dropped 15 pips. You're like, well, 15 pips, that's nothing. Well, if you do a 10 pip target on it, you just nailed it, right? And can you make a lot of money on 10 pips? Well, yeah, of course. Of course you can, right? You can make a lot of money on 10 pips. Again, because it's consistency, right? Consistency. And we talked about, oh, can I make $100 a day? Can you make $10 a day? If you go for 10 pips and your target is that could be $10. You could hit one 10 pip trade a day. You make $10 a day. $10 a day is $50 a week. $50 a week is $200 a month, right? Which is $2,400 in a year. So $10 a day is $2,400 in a year. Now you're like, oh man, $2,400, that's not much. Well, it can grow. Smaller times can grow. 2,400, well, then you do it again and you're consistent for a year. Well, 2,400 in a year. Next year, it's 4,400, right? It's 44, okay? And then you do it, well, no, it's actually 48. It's 4,800. And then you just do this, so you're doing $20 a day. Then the next thing you know, you're at $40 a day. And then the next thing you know, you made 23,000. And then you made 50,000, right? You just slowly increase your capacity, okay? So that's what I know it's not the attractive message that everybody wants to hear. You guys all want to hear me say, I will show you how to make $23,000 a day with 10 pips. right away, right? I know that's what you guys want to hear. Not all of you. There's a few of you that want to hear that. But yes, we got to be consistent. So right now, let's put this in a really tight box. If we break this level here, I will be looking at a short because I can't, honestly, I can't long right now. It's too far gone. It's a nice 300 pip move. It needs some kind of pullback. The divergence is overextended. It's definitely not. Another way we can do this, because I always got to give multiple ways, is we look at a trend line. And you'll notice this steep trend line just did what? Boom, it just broke. So now we have another point right here where we could short this trend line. So if it gets back up here, it might be a good short opportunity, right? For just a few little pips, just a few pips. So that's one thing we could look at, is a nice little short opportunity there. And so we'll be taking a look at that. I think that could be a good little trade because now we have multiple points of right here. So let's go ahead and put that level in there. Let's do this custom sell. Okay, we got a sell entry. I don't want it to be on market, so it's going to be right here. Oh, that's the stop loss. Let's put our target right here. That's the entry. The yellow line is the entry. Let me zoom up so you guys can see it. So if price gets back up into this zone, I'm going to short it, okay? And then my target will be right down here, and my stop loss is the red line right up here, so we're going to put it in place. And we're risking $1,000 on this. We're risking $1,000 on this. I'm going to drop this risk because since I'm only going to go for $100 a day right now, let's drop the risk. And again, my tool will let me work on that. So I'm going to put the risk here. Calculations happen in money, and I'm changing it to $100. I'm only going to risk $100. Okay. So now, now I got to redo my custom sell. Put my stop up here, my entry up here, and my target right where it's at, and we're going to sell this trade. Okay, so now we have it in place. There's a sell limit, and this is what you call a reversal trading strategy. And we've got to give Moses a shout out right there. Thank you, Moses, for doing that. I appreciate it, for giving me that trade idea. Okay, so that is the trade idea for today. We'll see what happens with it. Let's take a look at the Australia, New Zealand, because that thing has been moving up a lot as well. And so I wanted to show something here that we have. Okay, look at what we have here. We have a big, huge, massive triangle. Okay, and so right now, what are we hitting? We're hitting support right on this trend line. It currently just bumped up above this current level. And so at this point, I'm definitely not thinking of going long on this. However, if we get a break down to the bottom, a pop and a break, if this wedge continues to get smaller, when it finally breaks out of here, this could be a really good trade. So right now, we have this particular trade is a very strong uptrend, okay? Very strong, look at it. Right? But it's almost the same thing we're looking at on the Australian yen. It's getting really overextended. Okay, very, very overextended. 80, yeah, right. Thank you, Chris and Ben. I appreciate that. Yeah. Okay, so I'll get back to that pound New Zealand one more time, and then we're going to hit the stock list here in a little bit. So right here, we're in a, if we get any kind of reversal on this, this is going to be a great trade. We already are at support, right? See this? We're here, and then if it breaks lower, we could get down here as well. So if it breaks this, look for it to go down. And as you see on the daily, we do have some room down here as well. So this is something I'm going to be looking at. And so I'm already long on the Australian USD. And so where did I put my target? I put my target right at this level. Hopefully it'll get there. But if it doesn't, since Australian might be getting tired, I've got to consider locking in some more of this profit on my current Australian USD trade. So we're starting to test this resistance point. And so I want to be watching this. I might just pull this up here very soon, just to try to make sure I collect my profit on this. Okay. So that's what I'm looking at on that one. Let's take a look at that pound New Zealand as well. Let's look at pound New Zealand. Pound New Zealand is I'm currently long on it. We broke this level. It looks pretty sweet, I think. This nice, strong move right here has shown us a lot of price action on this pound New Zealand. So I like this opportunity. I think that I think there's a good opportunity here. I'm just turning off my alert because there's an alarm bugging me. So I'm going to actually tighten this up. I'm going to tighten this stop loss. Okay, so we got $468 locked in, and there we have it. So, all right, so that's it for currency trading. I wanted to just say also, guys, make sure that you guys are hitting the subscribe button and the notification, the bell, because if you don't do that, you're not going to get notified of these live events. And Wednesday, we're going to do a giveaway. Okay, and so last Wednesday, we didn't give the giveaway because we didn't get enough participation. And so we want to make sure that everyone's participating so that we have an opportunity to get that giveaway going. If you win, it will definitely help your trading account, right? That's what we're here for. So again, thank you guys for that. Make sure you hit that subscribe button. And if you liked my currency analysis at all, please hit that like button. We currently have 40. We got 150 people on, a pretty nice day on the attendance. So I'm happy about that. And we still got snow in Jacksonville, or not Jacksonville, Jackson Hole. Still got snow there. Traffic is moving, so no worries there. All right, so now let's go ahead and take a look at our stocks. Let's look at our stocks. So right now, you guys may remember FUBO, that's where I'm at. I'm long. I want this to break. I want this trend line to break. If we do, I'm going to be sitting pretty, I think, because I currently have some nice profits on this one. Looking for this level to break. If it breaks, we could even add to this, but we're looking for price to move up. Okay. Yeah, Ben, we just did the pound New Zealand. Not sure if you saw that. I'll do it real quick. You can see we just broke this level. Let me delete all the objects. And sometimes, man, Robin, you're missing out on all the fun. You're missing out on all the fun. Okay. Pound New Zealand. I am adding a level right here. Okay, why? Because it tested here, 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 and then finally it broke up. The MACD crossed, and now the momentum is expanding. Okay, I'm looking at this to go right up here where this 200 period moving average is at. I have my stop loss where it's at. I'm currently going to be using this trend line as my stop loss. If this trend line breaks below, I will get out of this trade. And so that's what I'm looking at. Also on this Australian yen, I set up a pending order. Okay, I'm going to set up, now that before we go to the stocks, I'm going to set up another one. See if I can set up two. Set one on the break of this. If it breaks this level, I'm going to take a short. Okay. All right, so we have a pending order here and here. It's in the channel. Either way, we're shorting this thing. We're going to short it up here and we're going to short it down here. So we have 2 pending orders on the Australian. Does that make sense to everyone? If it does make sense to you, hit that like button so I know that it's that I'm not crazy. I always need to know that I'm not crazy. That's really important. Okay. All right. So now we're going to jump into the stock watch list. Let's do this. We've got some pretty interesting trades. Fubo is one that I like. Let's go ahead and take a look at FNKO as well. FNKO, we're currently sitting at support. You see this on an uptrend. So looking for a bounce right here to pop back up to the upside. Let's take a look at some of the other trades here. Let's look at NIO. NIO is another one that I've been trading. If you see that it's in an uptrend, it's now down for 3 days and we're coming back to resistance here. And so we could draw a nice little trend line. For those of you that like trend lines like me, you see we're right at support. We've got this trend wall support. We've got support right here. See this level? I can draw a trend line for the support, 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 support. We're currently sitting right at it. And now how would we could wait for a little bit of price action, wait for this to break out of this little trend line. And we got a nice setup right here on NIO. And there we have it. Let's see what else. What else do we got to look at here? Well, obviously Zoom is a big one. We've been going long on Zoom for a while. Ever since it broke out of here, I told everybody to start going long on Zoom. And since then, it's been doing nothing but go up. Not big, huge moves, but it gives us a lot of opportunities. Every time we get a pullback, we want to go long. Every time we get a pullback, we want to go long. We have right now a current opportunity right here. If it breaks out of this one, we could get a nice long setup. Let's take a look at SNDL. SNDL, everybody's favorite. This thing went crazy, right? Insane. It's gone from 50 cents up to 3.90. And guess where we're at right now? We're at an almost golden opportunity to get back in on this bad boy. Okay, so yeah, look at this little level. If this little level breaks, guys, let's go for this one, right? Educational purposes only. This would be a great setup. And so we go from $2 up to $4, and we can also trade options on this one too. Look at it, get your option. The options are only 60 cents, right? So you could trade an option at the money and 75, 60 cents. If you want to go a little bit further and go out of the money, it gets even cheaper. If you think it's going to go back up to $4, you just buy a call at 40 cents and you could double your money with options or even go 200% or more. Options are a great way to do it. But remember, when you're trading options, your risk is higher, right? Your risk is always higher when you're trading options. So that's something that we want to take a look at as well. We want to be very, very much aware of what's happening there with the options trading. Okay, so that's probably one of my favorite setups. Let's see, what else do we have that we could be looking at here? Let's take a look at OSTK. And if you guys have anything you want, this is Overstock. You see this nice trending here? You see this nice, beautiful uptrend? Well, anytime you get a pullback on this one, you want to consider going long on it. Okay, let's look at it on a daily time frame. Again, my big thing is the big breakouts. And so when it came out of here in January, I started looking at this. And since then, it's a little bit overextended. So we might get a pullback on it. But the total target on this, I think it could get back up to up here, right? So if we get some pullbacks, you look at it on an hourly, just find the next level that it could hit. Oh, well, let's see, look at this one. This is a nice little level, and we could go right here. Okay, so that's pretty good stuff. I think that we could get right back down there. Get in here, go long. And this is a platform that I use. It's called Webull. So if you guys like this one, go ahead and let us know, because you can get in on this one and get some free stocks. They have some promotions going on, and I have a special link. I get some free stocks, you get some free stocks, so it helps me out, helps you out. It'd be great if you guys would do that if you're interested, but they don't work with every country. We'll post the link to that here very soon. Okay, in the chat, so just be looking for that for the special link. All righty, so that's OSTK. Let's take a look at Bumble. Bumble. It's an IPO, okay, and it just came out. So, you know, it's hard to do the analysis on this thing, but there's a, let's see what the volume is. I'm just curious. You go to indicators, we're going to add volume. The current volume is not that huge, but right now it is in an uptrend. So there's not a lot to go off of here, because there's just no history. So what that means is we just use what we have, right? But we have enough history here to do some basic analysis. We have a low, okay? We have a high. So we're in a range. Now, we also have a trend line, okay? My moving average, I can change that moving average. Let's see what it looks like. It might not have enough days to give us yeah, the moving average actually isn't even showing up because there's not enough data. So, but there is a smaller moving average here. So right now we have a trend line and we have a support level. Okay, so what would I be looking for? I would be looking for maybe it to come back down here. And then when that happens, we wait for the break to the upside. Okay. Okay. So this is a great question from Moses, and I appreciate that. Okay. His question, I'm going back to SNDL. So the answer to this is wait for it to bounce here or break out here, and then look for a possible entry. Let's go back to SNDL. Right? Should we take this because they have no earnings? Well, look, earnings is earnings, and I am doing long-term investments on companies that have good earnings, right? I actually have a monthly stock report where I do in-depth research and come out with a new stock each month. And I am looking at research, I'm looking at charts, and I'm looking at earnings. But for just simple trading purposes, you don't need to do that, okay? You just follow the charts, because the charts will tell you everything you need to know. If there's volume, if the price action is moving, if levels are getting broken, that tells you all you need to know, right? And why is that? Because there's a ton of data in these charts. What kind of data do we see here? Well, let me close all this. The data that we're seeing is support and resistance. It's price. So when we see a level, everybody knows about these levels, okay? And so when we see one break, that means that lots and lots and lots of people are buying this, and they're pushing the stock through the level, okay? So that tells us that we have a market. It tells us that people are willing to pay money. The only thing that matters in a market is, are people willing to pay money for this stock? And the answer is yes, it's an auction, right? Buyers fuel more buying. Sellers fuel more selling. And so when this price breaks, we know that there's a key level right here. Here's support right here. When this level breaks, well, it's going to go right? It's going to go. Now, that's not a guarantee. Anything can happen. The sellers could set up a trap. But the idea is you got enough data. But what's really important with this entire situation is that we make sure that we're managing our risk, right? We're not trying to overextend ourselves. We're not trying to make $1 million in one day, right? We're watching our risk because you don't want a stock to crash to zero because it can happen, right? It can happen. I mean, this thing was at 13 cents. So again, another thing, they have no earnings, but they went from 13 cents up to $4. Why do you think they did that in 2 months? Look at where they were at before. They were up to 13. Could they get back up there again? I believe they could, right? I believe they could get back up to $13. So would this be a great time to get in? Only if we get a price action move. Only if we get a price action move, okay? So if this level breaks, then yes, go for it. I really believe in that. Here's another one that I've been watching because I've been, and you guys have seen this, I've been making this one money on this one. Every time it breaks a level, I go in. So right now we had a huge drop, huge, but does that mean we can get back in? Well, not until this level breaks. This is an important level. This is HEXO. If this level breaks, I will go back long on this one. I got these old trend lines from times I got in before and made money. Why not do it again? It's already worked for me like 6 times. I think it might work a 7th. You know what I mean? So yeah, the market is closed today. The currency market's open, but it's been really slow so far. Just because it's, there's not a lot happening on a slow day like this. So not a lot going on. I do have my current Australian USD trade open, which is right here. Let's see what it looks like on the hourly. It's currently bouncing off this support level. If this level breaks, we could get another move to the upside, but I have my stop loss in place. I'm just trailing this right here. Okay, so I have a nice little trade on this one already. Okay, so Jack, thank you, Jack. I don't know what City Traders is. I'm sorry, so I cannot give an opinion on that. I might take a look at it at some point. Okay, I'm going to take a look at some crypto. Let's take a look at Bitcoin. Bitcoin is got some serious divergence, right? We've got massive divergence. Here's where support is all the way down here. And so if we get, you see what I mean by divergence? We've got a higher high here and here. Here's how you do divergence. You draw the line like that. Oh, it went from high to high. And then on this, it went from low to low. So now what am I looking for? Well, and you got to be very brave to short Bitcoin. Not really. Because if you're managing your risk, but if it breaks one of these levels, it could really go. Because look, Bitcoin, let's go back in time for a couple years ago and see what happened. It went from 19,000 all the way down to like really low. Okay, so you could have shorted that. You could have shorted that move in Bitcoin and you would have been a genius. Right? And everyone said Bitcoin's horrible. Well, could it go down again? Well, I don't know if it will, but right now it's divergent. Divergent doesn't really a signal in itself. You need the price action. All divergence does is it starts to alert you of when something can happen. That's all divergence does. Divergence says, okay, we could see this thing drop, right? And so that's what divergence does. Okay, so that's Bitcoin. USD CAD is having some action today, and there is USD CAD. Let's take a look at that, and then I just want to just give one other thing I wanted to talk about real quick. So the big thing is, guys, we're going to do a $100 a day challenge. And I want to make sure that everyone is managing their risk. That's really important, okay? You guys got to manage your risk. $100 a day, that's for what I'm going to do, but you guys do whatever it is. So I want you to be thinking right now, what's your number? What's your number that you want to do? Do you want to do 100 a day? Do you want to do 50 a day? Do you want to do 1,000? And it has to be something that's going to it has to be something that you guys feel comfortable with. Okay, it has to be something that you personally feel comfortable with, and that's not going to make you sad, right? At the beginning, we had somebody come on and said, "Oh, I'm so sad. I'm so sad because I lost money." Well, we don't want you to be sad, right? You got to come up with a number that will work for you, okay? And so I want you guys to get into the spirit of participation. And in that chat, when we start the $100 a day challenge, how much are you guys going to do? Are you going to do $10 a day, 50, 100, 500, like whatever it is? $7.22 a day. I don't care. Let me know in the chat. I want to see what you guys are going to be doing. Just to go ahead and throw that in there, please. Okay, so while you're doing that, I'm expecting some really cool answers here. While you're doing that, let's look at, we have support on the USD CAD, and it's very similar to the Australian. It's moving down about 40 pips away. Let's look at the hourly. And so the hourly is really extended here and it's moving. I don't really like to take trades when they're peaking to the downside. I'd rather wait for some kind of bounce. So back up here is my ideal situation. So if I'm thinking that it's going to stay short, which I believe that it will, I'd like this to pop back up, right? Maybe a bounce off of this level, and then a pop. But right now we do have a little triangle thing happening here where the price is getting smaller. Lots of good comments here. Good job, guys. Charles, 200 a day. And I don't want, thank you, Charles, but Charles, if that's too much, and I'm not picking on you, but if it's making you sad, you can drop that. Don't feel it has to be 200 a day. I mean, it could be 25 a day. Until you're consistently making money, let's see what we got here, right? Let's see what we got. And there we go. Okay, so we have this little triangle. Price is moving lower. I personally won't get into this unless I get some kind of bounce. I just don't like to trade it when it's this much. It could easily keep moving, but I like to wait, okay? All right, and if you don't have dollars, well, then there you go, you know. So now, before I do this, before we start, I want to see if you guys are interested, okay? So if you're interested in a $100 a day challenge or whatever it is, and you can be a different market, Ben, that's fine. Hit that like button because we got a lot of people on and there's not a lot of likes. So I want to see if you guys are interested. Let's see if we can bump it up to 70 likes. Can we bump it up to 70 likes to see if you guys are interested? If you guys are interested in this challenge, because there's a lot of people on here and we can get it on. I know Robin's interested. He's doing a like because he already did that. Okay, so let's get that up there. Okay, good. So I'm getting some interest. So the other thing that you need to do is you need to hit that subscribe button and the notification bell so that you get notified when we go live, right? It's very important that you do that because if you don't, you won't get notified. And we're also going to be doing a giveaway. We're going to be doing a giveaway on Wednesday. So you want to subscribe and hit that number on giveaway. And Adrian, good. Adrian said 20 to 50. He just started, but he got, let's put his thing up here. He said he's just, no, wrong one. He just started, but he got a little bit smarter looking at charts of last night's crash. What was the crash you were looking at, Adrian? And Elena, thank you. Thank you for subscribing. We really appreciate that. Thank you, Mr. NCLX. Conquering Warriors. I like that name. That's because you're going to be conquering the markets. I love it. Absolutely love it. Okay. So the Aussie dollar, Aussie yen, still in the middle of that channel. We have 2 pending orders. Either way, we're going to go short on this one. Okay, let's take a look at gold, because gold was a trade that I took last week, was my best trade of the week last week. Let's go ahead and take a look at it. So gold was a nice short for me, because why? Because I got in on this break. When it broke this trend line, I went short and we had a nice move. So now we're still moving lower on gold. We got a trend line, so it could bounce back up into this area. It could bounce back up here. We currently have a low to be watching for at 1785, and it went right to the level that I was thinking last time. And we have another level down here. So it's currently definitely bearish, right? Well, not totally. It's actually bullish, but it's currently in a bearish move. So that's what we're looking at. Now, the interesting thing about this is I call this a bull channel. You see this is a bull channel. It's a downward channel, a bull flag in an up move. So it could come back down here, break, and then when it breaks to the upside, it'll pop up really strong. And so overall, this is bullish, but right now the current price action, yeah, gold never disappoints, Ben, unless it takes all your money, and then it disappoints. Okay, so we are moving lower here, and okay, Jonathan, I like that. You say options, and so I'm also going to be teaching the options day trading strategy soon. I'm going to get prepared. It's a great strategy. And I have been neglecting options a little bit, and I don't want to do that. So I'm going to do that soon. So that's good. Okay. So right now we're currently moving lower. We have these 2 levels. So let's see what happens if we can get down here. Let's take a look at the hourly time frame. The most important thing that you can do is just draw your levels. Okay, so right now we have a current level that's right here. Okay, it's moving lower. If you did short, you'd want to be careful of this. I would be more inclined, if you watch the MACD, it's starting to get higher. I'd like to see this thing pop and then watch the MACD break and then maybe a level or trend line or something to break. But right now we're kind of rebounding. So we had this big move last week. We've rebounded and now we're consolidating, right? It popped up, and it's looking like it's trying to build the momentum to take this down even further. And so, so right now, this level's really going to play it out. And so, yeah, LC just said that the underlying is bullish, right? And I agree with that. You know, we got the bullish channel. I do agree that this is a bullish channel, but right now it's moving. So be aware. Be aware. If you're a long-term trader, whenever it gets to these levels, I would be buying. If we get down to this level, if we get down to 117.86, I'm going to buy. If we get down to 117.65, I'm going to buy. So I'm going to be looking at those levels for particular trades. Okay, so keep your eyes on that, and it's going to be a lot of fun to do this challenge. I'm really excited about it. It's going to be really fun to watch the day trading strategy. So, well, the strategy is going to be an option strategy. Thank you so much. So Marlon, you liked and subscribed. Thank you, Marlon. And I want to see if we can get it up to 100, because that's been my big days when I get it to 100 likes. So let's see if we can get it up there, just to get more people encouraged in participating in this challenge. I really do appreciate it. So I'm going to address what Marlon has to say. Marlon, you liked and subscribed on $100 a day. Any thoughts on US 500? So here's my thought, okay? my thought is that's a way too much money. You guys, please feel free. We don't bash anyone here, but please feel free to comment on your thoughts. You know, I'm just trying to develop some relationships in here and stuff so we can help each other as a team. You know, Jonathan at the very beginning said, hey, team, I like that mentality, right? We all need some help in our lives. Okay, so my thoughts are that's way too high because that's like 20% a day on your account, right? 20% a day is really, really high. You've got to be like Mr. Trader Extraordinaire. Okay, so that's the first comment. The next thing I would say is if you only have 500, does it feel good to lose 100 of that? Like that's big time, right? That's big time. So I would probably do something like $5 a day, right? And I know they're like, $5 a day, that's so wimpy. Like, how could I just trade for $5 a day? Well, here's the thing, right? Here's the thing. It's all about the consistency. If you can do $5 a day, look, that's actually a lot of money because $5 adds up to $25. $25 on a $500 account is a lot of money, right? It's a lot of money. So that is something I want you to be considering is the compounding effect. If you did $5 a day, let me pull up the calculator here. If you do $5 a day, okay, so you're starting with 500. So we go 5 times 5 is $25 in a week. Okay, but how many trading weeks are there in a year? Times 52. Okay, you just doubled your account twice in a year. Almost 3 times, right? You almost doubled your account 3 times. And let me just tell you right now, okay, I'll address Cordelia's question in a minute. Let me tell you right now, if you can double your account twice in a year, you are in the elite group of traders, all right? You're the elite group of traders. So, you know, if you're doing $100 a day on a $500 account, that's a really lot of money. And I think you're setting yourself up for disaster personally. Okay. So I would recommend that you drop it down. Okay. Because this puts you in a group with elite traders and it makes it more comfortable, right? So come up with a money management plan, a strategy, you know, think ahead, prepare, and stuff like that when time to help you with your risk. Okay, so Cordelia made an interesting comment here that said, I've been too nervous to do with options. So Cordelia, that's exactly what I've been talking about. If you're nervous, you've got to drop it down. I don't want people sad. I don't want you nervous. You've got to be in your comfort zone, okay? You've got to be in your comfort zone. So if it's making you nervous, then you shouldn't be doing it. You want to risk something where you're comfortable. You know, with options, there's a little more risk involved because usually in options, if you're buying calls, depending upon your strategy, it's really advanced. You could actually lose your entire trade on an options trade, right? And that's usually what happens. You lose the whole thing. And that's a lot to lose. So with that being said, let's work on being consistent and having something that doesn't make you nervous, right? Do not be sad. Do not be nervous. Find a number that works for you. Okay, find a number that works for you. Turek is nervous. It seems so, okay. All right, so Turek, here again. Let's work on using a demo account first, a demo account to get comfortable with trading, okay? You can get comfortable with it and then you won't be too nervous, right? Because we don't want you to be nervous. And when you do get started, you know, start your demo account with the same amount of money that you'll start for real and give yourself a couple goals. I love goals. Just say, okay, if I can consistently make money for 2 months and not do anything stupid on a demo account, well, then you can go ahead and go live, right? If you can do something for 2 months, Can you do it, right? Set yourself up with a challenge before you even do it. Okay, well, Cordelia, again, you can actually do this challenge with stocks, and again, be under control. You made 30,000, that's good, but were you nervous? I don't see this. I want you to get the concept here. Bravery is not something that you need to have to be in trading, right? Because if you're trying to be brave, you're making a mistake. You don't need to be brave. You need to be trading at a level that works for you, right? It needs to work for you. You do not need to be brave. You need to be safe and comfortable and not stressed out, because if you are, then that's a problem, a big problem, okay? Yeah, demo trading is really helpful. And I'm also going to be doing, Cordelia, I'm going to be doing a options trading here as well. I'm going to do an options trading strategy here very soon to help out. So we're getting some great feedback, some great comments. I really appreciate everybody. We're going to be continuing to work on some of this stuff as time goes on. We're going to continue to build up the community. I'm very excited about where we're going and what we're doing. And thank you so much. And I'm going to just ask you one more time to hit that like button. Let's see if we can get it up to 110. And I'm going to review this trade that I have on the Australia-New Zealand. So what we're looking at right now is it's overextended. It's overextended. And so again, this is total safety. But you can see let's look at the RSI. We have what's called a divergence. Okay, a divergence is happening. Price is hitting a new high, but it's down and below. It's not a new high. Okay, it's not a new high on this. It's actually slowly dropping. Okay, you can see because the RSI was at 75, and now it's at 71. So the RSI is dropping. But does that mean that it's ready to drop? No, of course not. So what did I do to take advantage of this? Well, I put a pending order up here. If price bounces into this level, if it gets up here, I'm going to short. Now, why am I using this level? Well, because it hit this level once, and what happened? It hit the level, and price dropped. It hit the level and price dropped. So I'm assuming that it's going to do that again. Do I know the future? Of course I don't. But it's a pretty important level. How do I know? Well, let's zoom back out and see where the level is. It hit right up here. So this level has been tested before. And so I'm going to think that it's going to be tested again. On the hourly time frame, we've been going sideways. If it drops lower here, I'm going to get in on the downside. If it goes up, I'm going to get in on the upside or on the downside. Okay, now the way that I did this was I used our Epic tool and I created a custom sell order. And you don't need to use Epic for this. You can do this without it. So what you do is you just click trading and you do a sell stop, right? So you do a sell stop, and the Epic tool makes it nice, but I like to just, you figure out your risk, and the sell stop's at 81. So you can see my orders. I've got a sell stop and a sell limit. A sell stop is below your current price. A sell limit is above the current price, right? And so if it goes up, I'm going to short. If it goes down, I'm going to short. The only place I'm not going to short is in this current channel, right? So, Franz had a great comment here, and he just said, hey, trading in itself is not hard. Consistency is. The concepts of trading are simple. I know people that learn trading in, like a month or 2 months. They just get everything because they suck it all in. They read it and they take it all in, and they learn it really fast, right? But what they can't learn is the habits that produce the results. That's what makes it hard. It's the self-control aspect. And I really like to work on that one. Moses, let's take a look at AMD. I didn't mention it. I'm still in the trade. You see this? I went in at 93.12. It's currently 93.77. So I'm making some money. Yeah. We got a breakout here. Price moved up. Again, solid uptrend. I love AMD. I buy AMD graphics cards for my kids. So I know that they're, I've been loyal to Intel on processors for my entire life. And I finally made a switch and I bought my first AMD computer. So my current computer right now is AMD, and I made the switch from Intel. And that was a big deal for me because my brother worked at Intel for a long time, and my aunt worked at Intel, and she just retired, and she was there for like 50 years. I grew up, not 50, but close. Like seriously, she worked there a long time. I grew up with Intel computers because my aunt would bring home computer parts. So I'm now totally moved over to AMD, and their graphics cards are great. But right here is the trade. I am looking for it to at least get to 100 from here, at least, and I think beyond. So AMD is a great stock to go. I still trade Intel too. Let's look at Intel. I still trade Intel. Intel's a great company as well. As a matter of fact, and I don't want to just brag, but you see that this level here, I actually traded this level, and it was a pretty nice trade. But Intel's more of a sideways stock. It's not really a trender. You can see it's just really sideways, but it's great for anytime you get a drop, just go long on it. So right now I wouldn't take a long on Intel because it's not a trender, but it is good on buying before. So my Stelio, you missed a lot. We're going to do a lot of things. Make sure you subscribe and hit the like button because we're going to do a giveaway on Wednesday. We're going to start a $100 a day challenge. And we're going to do an options day trading strategy. I'm personally trying to trade 3 different accounts at the same time to $1 million while working on helping you guys as well. So there's a lot of stuff going on. So you want to hit the subscribe button and hit the like button. Make sure you hit the notification as well. But to answer your question, I use a 50 and 200. Yes. And let's see, you might have the red and blue. I'm not sure what chart you were looking at. So let's take a look at CLX because we got some people that want to see it. CLX. Oh, I like this trade, by the way, because I actually really like this trade. Let's take a look at this. We've got a lowering trend line. I was looking at going long here a few days ago, and I never did, which I'm glad now because it kept on dropping. But now it's really getting ready. Okay, this trade to me is a home run. Why? Because during the pandemic, their earnings went up, and everybody's buying Clorox. I don't really understand why this dropped like this, but look, we got price action right here. Let's go to a lower time frame. I like this trade a lot. We're starting to level out. We just broke this. Okay, so I think buying some options on this would be good, but remember to always manage your risk or just buy the shares. I think we could get back up in this channel. I think this 230 is possible. I think this is a good stock, a good company, and I think the price action is just right. So I really like this as well. Well, what I look for, thank you, Stelio. We really appreciate it. MK agrees with AMD. Good. So here's what I look for. Okay, the price action. And what that means, price action, all that means is that price is confirming the trade, right? It's the main indicator we want to go with because price is data. It's data that happens inside of a candle. And it's just price action. So if it's a 1 minute chart, it's what does the price do in 1 minute? If it's an hour, it's price data in an hour. If it's daily, it's price data in a day. The bigger the candle, the more amount of data included. If you have more data, you can make better decisions. That's why we like to look at a daily time frame. Okay, so what do I need to happen? Well, I first confirm the direction of the trend. Second, I confirm support and resistance levels, levels that have stopped. Price has stopped at a certain place before. Did it stop here? Did it stop on this trend line? Did it stop right here? Yes. So we have an uptrend because price is moving up. We have a support level because price has stopped here before. So those are the first two things. The third thing is I need price to continue in the direction of the trend. So let's look at it on a 15-minute time frame. I need a certain level to break. It's starting to level out. Price is now breaking right here. It's breaking this trend line. This is the confirmation I need. Actually, the confirmation I needed was right here because it broke this downward trend. It went right back and tested, so I could have got in right here, and now we got in here. And so there's a lot of opportunity on this one. I like this one very well. Okay, so again, this is all for educational purposes only. I appreciate everyone for all of the questions. It makes it so much fun for me that everybody's participating. If you guys could hit that like button one last time, we're at 106. 110 would be our new live record. So we're getting more and more people on the show, and it really encourages me to see so many people being helped. All right. So if we can do that, get it up to 110, because there's 178 people on right now, which is super exciting. I absolutely love that. Thanks everybody for being here. And we just did it. We hit 111. So everybody give a congratulations. Thanks guys. And MK enjoyed it. I enjoyed it too. I love being with you guys. It's a lot of fun. So be ready for good. MK learned something. That's the goal. Be ready guys for, and it makes me work harder too, because now I have to really work and educate myself to make sure I'm doing the best for you guys. And I don't want to just regurgitate the same old stuff over and over again, but consistency is important. You're welcome, Alpha. You're welcome. You're welcome. Thank you, Paul. Thank you. Appreciate everyone. But it motivates me. You guys motivate me a lot. So thank you guys. And we will be seeing you guys again on Wednesday. We're going to do a giveaway on Wednesday. Be safe. Get ready for Wednesday, because I want you guys to have a lot of questions ready, as well as some stocks to look at, right? Okay. All right. Well, thanks, guys. Appreciate it. And we'll keep you guys updated. Be safe. Thank you. I've got close to 30 years of experience. I know I don't look that old. You're probably shocked right now, but yeah, close to 30. All right. Well, we'll talk to you guys soon. Bye, everyone.